Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma allimna bima yanfa'ana, wanfa'na bima allamtana wa zidna ilma. Rabbi shrah li sadri, wa yassir li amri, wahlul uqdatan min lisani, yafqahu qawli. At first, I want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given me a chance to say something in the seminar. And I also thank the founder of Tawheed First Foundation, Sir Mahmoud al-Haq, and his wife, Siddiq Akhtar, accept their effort to educate the Muslim children and as well as to impart authentic Islamic knowledge and as well as effective guidance to the guardians. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept their reward. Today, in this seminar, I will try to discuss a little bit about how to become a successful student in an online madrasah, like the madrasah we have, Tawheed First organization here, this online platform. So we know that nowadays the online education, mashallah, it's a huge platform and also is a huge opportunity for Muslim students, especially for gaining Islamic knowledge, which we could not think previously. That means now a student of knowledge, even though he is not in Saudi Arabia, he can easily learn Islamic knowledge from Arab scholars. And it is possible today because of this online platform. So this is a blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Definitely, this is a blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, one day, one of the teachers of Madani Islamic University, he said that YouTube, Akbarul Jamia. This is one of the greatest universities on this world, YouTube. Why? Because you will find the specialists from throughout the world. They have delivered their lecture on specific topics, or they have delivered a series of lectures from which you can be benefited. So it's very easy. Just turn on the laptop or mobile phone with internet connection. That's it. It's easy for you to be connected with them. That means the opportunities are many. In any subject you want to be a specialist in, it's easy for you to now to become. Just listen to them, and the books are also available in the internet. So the knowledge are free now. But this also creates a dilemma for the student of knowledge, because as there are so many facilities available in the internet, sometimes the students, they are in confusion what to start with first, or sometimes they start with first, or they have started something learning, then after a few days they get something new, and then they left the previous one incomplete and then start the second one, and likewise he just take one and leave another. By this way he continue his education or his learning process. Eventually the outcome is zero or not too much. So here, so in online platform, a student to be successful in, so there should be a methodology, or the student should follow some rules and regulation so that he can get the best out of these opportunities. So today we are here to discuss a little bit about how to succeed as a student in an online Islamic madrasa. And this is not just an academic discussion, but one that touches the core of our personal growth, our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and our responsibilities towards knowledge and self-betterment. So before going into details, at first the student themselves, they should ask that what occupies their mind and what they really or truly seek, or what they strive to protect or recover in their life. That means the student themselves, they need to make sure that are they serious or not for learning in an Islamic platform, because these questions shape the essence of who they are, and that guide them the direction of their efforts. Because many of the students, they're actually in a state of uncertainty and unclear about their goals. They don't have any vision or any goal, and they also unsure of their priorities, and even they are unaware of what truly matters them. And we know the time is very short and fleeting, so the moments available to achieve our goals and dreams, they're actually very limited. So if you want to be a scholar, there is an opportunity, but you need to make sure, or you should determine that you want to be a scholar. Today you want to be an engineer, and another day you say that I want to be a doctor, and another thing. If you have so many goals, eventually nothing will be acid. So you should make sure that this is my goal. That is, I want to be Islamic scholar or a preacher of Islam or like that, because our time that we get to acquire knowledge is very limited. So we must fix our goals and dreams. And therefore, it is essential to clarify our purpose and align our efforts and accordingly. And another thing is that, my dear students, you must take responsibility. What that responsibility? The responsibility is to learn, is to seek knowledge from this online platform or from these programs. There are many Islamic programs, education programs are available on the internet. You should bear in mind that there are people, scholars, teachers, they are working day and night to create opportunities for your success. For example, Zad Academy, mashallah, they have created a great opportunity for learning Islam. Although only those who speak Arabic, they will be able to take information from that platform. Likewise, the Tawheed First Foundation, mashallah, they have also an online educational platform. So there are some people who are working hard to educate you, to make you success in this field, and they plan they create the syllabus, create the lesson plan, and there are people they invest their time, knowledge, and resource to make education accessible to you, my dear student. So all that efforts that they do is not for themselves but for your benefit, to make it to ease your path towards knowledge and faith. So as the opportunity for you, like opportunity for learning Islamic knowledge, are great, so with great opportunities definitely comes great responsibility, my dear. Because as there are some people throughout the world, they are working hard, spending their time and doing different types of curriculums and lesson plans and educational materials for you. So you have the responsibility. As the opportunity are great, so with great opportunity definitely comes great responsibility. So if others are dedicating themselves to paving your path, how can you not rise to that challenge? If someone sacrifices their time, expertise, and even their personal convenience for your growth and development, then as a student of knowledge, you must honor that effort by being responsible and disciplined and determined. My dear, I think it's clear to you. So, and in online, because and why, and I said that why you must take responsibility, as I have made it clear, because there are some people, they are dedicating themselves to paving your path, they are sacrificing their times, expertise, and personal convenience for your growth. So you must honor that effort. But how? By being responsible, disciplined, and determined. And we know, my dear student, that in online platform, as it is not, it is there are some lackings and challenges here, because while the online environment has made the knowledge more accessible, even a people living in the remote place in Africa can easily get benefit from online educational materials. So the knowledge is more accessible now. So it also comes with significant hurdles, like distractions from social media or other online preparation. As there are so many programs in the YouTube and so many online educational institution, so there is a tendency among the students to start multiple programs without completing any one of them. A student may get himself admitted in more than 2 and 3 or 3 educational institutions, online educational institutions, but he may not attend them all. He may attend one class in this organization and another class on another day in another organization. By this way, he spent his time. So this tendency to start multiple programs, this is really a challenge. The students sometimes they cannot control
there's such kind of temptation because the programs are very glittering. So the students are easily they are forced to or compelled to start multiple programs, which is not good for them. And rapid burnout, lack of consistency. This is also the problems here. Because in the online platform, the student, he should have control over himself. He should enforce or compel himself to attend to the class and force himself to listen to the teachers. So which is very difficult because no one there to guide him. He is the master of his own. So these are the challenges that a student faces in online platform. And the online platform, as I have said, it's a great advantage, like the flexibility, because here it's very. So here the advantage is the flexibility. The student is not bound to, for example, if a student misses any class, he can make it up. He can do it by hearing the records. So thereby it is now easy. Another benefit is that it highlights the skills of the student. That means if a student, and this actually is fit for the recorded class, because in the normal situation, in the offline platform, if the teacher started explaining something, and if there are different levels of a student in the same class, so one student may say, "Oh, teacher, what you are explaining too much. I understand this topic. Already I understand this topic. So, but as there are other weak students in the class, the students are that student who already understood, who have already understood the topic. He is forced to listen to the teacher. But in online platform, especially in the recorded class, if the student he finds that what the teacher is speaking about or discussing about, he already understand, so he can skip that discussion and start the next one. So this is here, there is a advantage here. But distant learnings, like online platform, there are some shortcomings we need to understand. Here are some challenges and here are some shortcomings. The challenges that I have already mentioned some, and another is that if a student lacks self-discipline, then this online platform in this space, it makes making it difficult to commit to distance or self-directed learning. Here it is very difficult for him if he takes self-discipline. If the student doesn't have control over himself, then he may not get benefited from this online platform. So here is a challenge. That means there is no external enforcement, and in online platform especially, the expenses are minimal. With small amount of money, a student can study here, and this advantage sometimes might reduce the perceived seriousness of the commitment. A student or the guardians also, they may think, as I don't have to spend so much money in this platform, so they are not, sometimes they lost their seriousness. And as I said, there is no direct guidance. Of course, the teacher, he conducts classes through online, but there are some limitation, because we know that teachers sometimes, students sometimes they closes their camera. So in that case, teacher sometimes fails to control them, those students. So here is a lackings of direct guidance. And others, there's no companions, because every student, every individual, they sit at their own house. So the other friends, they are not with them to motivate that student. So there is a challenge. And sometimes the taste and other things not immediate, and there are some challenges here. That means a student which he gets when he sits in an offline platform, he may miss those things. So as a result, the students are left entirely to their own device. That means they need to control themselves in order to get the benefit from this online platform. Although, Alhamdulillah, the guardians, some educated and concerned guardians, they are helping their students by being beside with them during the class hour. That's good. By this way, sometimes the students can overcome some of these challenges. And deficiency is that sometimes the students, as the time and the online platform is very limited, so the teacher sometimes may not able to ensure that whether the students, all of the students have understood his speech as it should be understood or not. So there is a deficiency which the teacher may not be able to justify that, or may not be able to ensure that. So there are some deficiencies and shortages in the online platform, but even though it's an huge or great opportunity for Muslim children, even today I'm talking to you more than thousands miles, which is not possible without this platform. So this is also a great opportunity for us all. So as there are some deficiencies, challenges, and sometimes we see that the students, they start a course, and after completing few classes, somehow when he feels demoralized, he left the class, or he may have other responsibilities that creates a hindrance or make an obstacle for him to attend the class. So there are some problems here. Some students, he may attend a class, but he's not serious. During the class hour, he listens, but outside the class hour, he doesn't perform any homework or anything, any personal study. Thereby, his level of knowledge remains the same, even though he has completed more than 3 or 4 semesters. So here we need some suggestions and advice for students to get the best benefit from this platform. So the first advice for our students that we should bear in mind that the path of seeking knowledge is a form of worship. We should remember that, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Iqra, so we get knowledge, we seek knowledge. Prophet says, Talabul ilm faridatun ala kulli Muslim, seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim, so we seek knowledge. So the path of seeking knowledge is a form of worship. We should bear in mind that. So we must approach this journey, that means journey of seeking knowledge, with the mindset of ibadah. When we learn, and our ultimate aim should be to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And sincerity and ikhlas is the foundation for all khair, kullul khair. Sincerity or ikhlas is the foundation for all goodness. So be truthful in your pursuit of knowledge. Learn solely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for fame or for any recognition or for any worldly things. Our intention should be to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to improve ourselves. And also, whatever we learn, our duty, or we should bear in mind that we should teach it to others. And never let the thought of seeking knowledge for fame, or maybe if I seek knowledge, the people will start following me, or the people will praise me. No, do not let the thought of seeking knowledge for self-promotion, followers, or public praises cross your mind. Study, write purely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keep this intention present in your heart all time, my dear student. And this is the best thing, the core thing. And these subtle, sincere intentions mainly bring Allah's blessings upon even a small amount of knowledge. My dear, a person may acquire vast information, yet the more they learn, the further they may drift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibn Taymiyyah, he said that, rahimahullah, whoever's heart Allah illuminates benefits even from a small amount of knowledge. But if one lacks sincerity An increase in knowledge only leads them further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, sincerity, should be the first thing while learning in an online madrasa or seeking knowledge. The second advice, my dear, you should bear that the seeking knowledge is one of the noblest pursuits a person can engage in this world, because ليس في الوجود أفضل من العلم. There is nothing in this dunya greater than or more noble uh, than nobler than knowledge. This is the noblest pursuit a person can engage in this world. The Prophet ﷺ in one hadith, he said that, of course, when I say here the knowledge, seeking knowledge is the knowledge of the revelation, divine revelation, the Quran and the Sunnah, al-Mushari'i. So the Prophet ﷺ in one hadith, he said that the example of the guidance and knowledge with which Allah sent me is like abundant rain that falls on the earth. Some of it is pure and beneficial. So the Prophet ﷺ compares the heart to the earth, saying that the people who benefit the most from this message are those who learn, act upon that knowledge, and teach it to others. So if you seek knowledge with the sincere guidance, intention of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, learning your religion, teaching others, then you are among the best to benefit from the Prophet's message. And additionally, the Prophet ﷺ, he also said, من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله به طريقا إلى الجنة. Whoever follows a path seeking knowledge, Allah will make the path to paradise easy for him. And also there is a hadith, whoever calls others to guidance will have a reward like the rewards of those who follow his guidance, without diminishing their rewards in the list. So you should bear in mind that knowledge, seeking knowledge, this is the noblest pursuit, even though if it is done in online madrasa. So you are doing something which is best thing in this dunya, and you are being rewarded for that. You are in state of worship. So you should bear in mind that. And also, you should bear, the Prophet ﷺ said, إذا مات ابن آدم انقطع عمله إلا من ثلاث. When Adam dies, all his deeds are stopped except three. And among them, علم نافع ينتفع به بعد موته. ينتفع به بعد موته. Beneficial knowledge that the other person benefits from it. So the Sahib, the owner of the knowledge, who has first started that knowledge, or who has taught it to you, or if you teach it to others, even though you are not in this dunya, you will be rewarded for that. Third advice, my dear, learn for yourself and apply knowledge to your life. This means, because many students, maybe not you, but some students, when they started learning knowledge from an online platform, what they do, they started thinking that means those thoughts preoccupy themselves while studying, and they think that how can I convince those who oppose me, or how do I convince the opponent, how do I answer this particular doubt, or how do I resolve this issue. Many things come to his mind while studying, because that means he is busy thinking or brooding over those things when he is still learning, thinking for answering the allegations against Islam. Yes, you will do it, but not now. You will do it, but not now. You should wait. So learn at first for yourself, without becoming overly concerned with convincing others and addressing different doubts, or attempting to answer every intellectual challenge you encounter, because your journey of knowledge should be a personal endeavor for guidance and self-improvement, my dear. So focus on yourself first. Focus on yourself first. Learn and apply it to yourself in your life. Thereby, you will be armed with knowledge, and eventually, inshallah, you will spread this knowledge and inshallah answer those doubts or allegations against Islam. This is your later job. But first job is to you are learning for yourself and to improve yourself and as well as to apply those knowledge in your life. The fourth advice is the noblest and most honorable knowledge of all is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should bear in mind that, my dear. Sometimes when we learn in an online platform, we forget the noblest and most honorable knowledge, which is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the Quran is the guide that illuminates every branch of knowledge that you must learn. What does this mean? It means that every matter discussed in the Quran is the most noble and profound knowledge one can pursue. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of all the worlds, made this book a clear guidance, mercy, and healing for believers. Therefore, it must contain the most essential knowledge one should possess. Because in the Quran, Allah has spoken about Himself, His names, His actions, His praise. And He has also included in the Quran about His messengers and His final messenger. And He also mentioned in the Quran His divine books and also the Quran itself. And in the Quran, resurrection is mentioned, the afterlife is mentioned, the meaning of this worldly life is mentioned, good deeds, divine destiny, kindness, and the stories of the prophets, the righteous and the disbelievers, even lessons about great sins and acts of worthiness. All of these topics are among the most noble and vital areas of knowledge. So, our first priority should be given for learning the Quran, memorizing it, learning its meaning, reading tafsir and other things. The fifth advice for you, my dear students, is that the focus on learning these things. When you learn in online platform, don't forget to learn these things like muhkamat, and this includes the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understanding the iman, understanding acts of worship, learning about the prophets and his guidance, understanding the key aspects of prayer, zakat, fasting, and other pillars of faith, study the Quran and its sciences, study the hadith and the lifestyle of the prophet, and study the fundamentals of Islam. So when you learn, make sure that you include all of these things in your learning. Alhamdulillah, in this foundation, Tawheed First organization, this organization, they are teaching the Muslim children and teaching these aspects also. Aqidah, how to pray, how to fast, and the pillars of faith and other things. The sixth advice for you, my dear student, that with many of the students of knowledge, especially those who are seeking knowledge through online, they forget, they skip, or they neglect. And this is one of the reasons why some students they lost motivation, and they sometime after a few days they skip they left the classes because they don't pay attention to the actions and sayings of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Because if you read their life, their sacrifice for Islam, you will be astonished. And also, if you study the life of the previous scholars, how did they spend their life for seeking knowledge, you will be astonished hearing those stories. And we have already delivered a lecture on those topics by the name of seeking Salaf as-Saleh, Salaf and the seeking of knowledge, by this title. So there we have explained or discussed that how did the previous scholars, our pre-generations, they have spent their, or they have sacrificed their life or spent their life for seeking knowledge. So there are some books that discuss about the actions and sayings of the Sahaba. Among them, Musannaf ibn Abi Shaybah or Musannaf Abdul Razzaq and Tafsir at-Tabari. These three books, especially, there are others also, but these three books specially include the actions and sayings of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So you may study that. But later on, they are written in Arabic. Inshallah, one day you will study about the actions and sayings of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. The seventh advice, my dear, for you is that pay attention to the Arabic language, because this is the doorway by which you will enter the realm of the knowledge. So paying attention to Arabic language, because a student of knowledge, whether studying independently or through online platforms, often finds that the learning Arabic language is essential, because in the online platform, most of the courses, especially Islamic courses, they are in Arabic. So we should not deprive ourselves from gaining knowledge from those sources. Even the Zad Academy in Arabic language. So if you want to get benefit from those course, you must learn Arabic. And other lectures from Arab scholars, they are in Arabic. So many young students, they struggle with understanding the Arabic language. But we should bear in mind that this language is essential, because it is the very key to comprehending the Quran. It is the very key to understanding the Quran. The great scholar Imam Shafi, may Allah have mercy on his soul, he said that understanding Sharia depends on two main components. If you want to become a scholar, or if you want to understand the Sharia, then it depends on two main components. Number one, knowing the language in which the Sharia was revealed. Definitely that is Arabic. The Quran and Hadith is in Arabic, and this Arabic is classical Arabic language. And understanding the Sunnah of the Prophet, which served as a guidance in explaining and applying the principles of Sharia. So, understanding the Sharia depends on these two components. And we should bear in mind that, again, that the Arabic language is the lens through which the Quran can be truly understood. So, my dear, try to learn Nahu, the Arabic grammar, the Sarf, the structure, Mufradat, the vocabularies, and other things to understand this language. Inshallah, the Tawheed First Foundation is going to announce within a short time, inshallah, the Arabic language course for toddlers, inshallah. And after that, inshallah, they will also open another course for the beginner and the advanced level learners, inshallah. The eighth advice, strive to embody the meanings of strength, my dear, and the trustworthiness, the amana. We should understand and grasp this meaning. What does it mean by amana and quwwah? Because amana here, my dear, trustworthiness, includes the following values. That is sincerity, truthfulness, humility, clean-heartedness, love for goodness for fellow Muslims, good manners, politeness, kind speech. All this is in the category of amana. And all these values form the foundation of amana, which can be expressed in a person's actions, speech, and intentions. And these things are essential for learning or for seeking Islamic knowledge, my dear. And understanding the strength. The second essential quality is strength, and which can be categorized as follows, like patience, perseverance, skill, and proficiency. There are some maharat, skills, effective communications, eloquence, clarity in expressions, personal bayan, strong determination, willpower, and all of these include is fall in the category of strength. And these two qualities, like amana and strength, are important, my dear, because if you want to seek knowledge, you must express and maintain all of these things in your personal life, and focus your heart on your goal. Focus your heart on your goal, my dear. That means if you want something, then focus on it. Do not drift from here and there, because distraction is the greatest challenges that students face, my dear. So focus your heart on your goal, your mindset and everything. Always think or look at your goal, because there are so many distractions are trying to distract you, because we know that in online platform many students are suffering from this, too many things which result in accomplishing nothing. Eventually they attempt numerous programs but fail to complete any of them. Why? Because lack of concentration. So because for this reason, focus. And really, this lack of attention and focus, this is a significant problem, especially for those who are learning on online platform, my dear. When you study or sit for class, then close other device, silent them, so that any notification cannot distract you from your class. And do not choose too many programs. Start with one, definitely, which you will choose wisely, then complete it and then go to the next. If you start a course, complete it, then go to the next course. But do not start at a time too much courses. Sometimes it creates problem. But there are some things which you may cope with it. For example, you may get yourself enrolled or admitted in an Hifzul course, Hifzul Quran. Then for another, for Islamic studies, that's not a problem. That's okay. But same type of courses, if you get yourself admitted in a different organizations, then there is a high possibility eventually you may not accomplish anything. And sabr, perseverance, and certainty, maintain that, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Asr is mentioned that they enjoined one another to the truth and the patience. As-sabr la yati illa bi khair. As-sabr la yati illa bi khair. So be patient and continue studying. Wasta'in billah, wasta'inu bis sabri was salah. Seek assistance and help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with patience and prayer. So if you start a journey for seeking knowledge, be patient and make dua to be, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you steadfast in this regard. Because we know that there are some individuals, they have honesty, goodness, and good intention, but they lack perseverance. Sometimes they attend the first day, second day, third day, but in the fourth and fifth week they are absent and they left the courses. So such weakness lead to failure in personal growth and learning. So be aware of that. So when you start something, إذا عزمت فتوكل على الله. When you start something, then depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Perseverance means sticking with that program until the very end and completing the journey and giving it giving it your all. For example, if you start the course in Tawheed First Foundation, then say to yourself that I will not stop until I complete this course fully, no matter how long it takes. Start with what is available. Some students may think, okay, I will start seeking knowledge or starting Islamic knowledge after I will be fully prepared, or I will manage other things, or I will complete those classes. Suppose if now you are studying in sixth grade, then if you say, okay, when I will be to the next level in 7th grade, then I will start taking classes, or sorry, then I'll start learning uh, in this course or from this course, or then I will get myself admitted in Tawheed First Foundation online platform. Maybe you will not get that time, my dear, because you don't know what is going to be happen to you. So start with what is available. It is your time now to get yourself admitted in an online courses if you want to seek Islamic knowledge. If you have that, if you don't have any other opportunity available besides you, then you should not deprive yourself from this opportunity. Do not wait for the perfect plan, because this is a trap of shaitan. Because shaitan will tell you that you will get an ideal plan on or appropriate time, then you will start learning. So this is a trap. The 12th most important advice, that is monitor yourself, motivate yourself, hold yourself accountable, and reward yourself. Evaluate your progress, my dear. This is important, because when you learn using an online platform, you should monitor yourself, so what you are learning, what is your progress. If you feel lack motivation, then but somehow you should motivate yourself. For example, reading Qasasul Anbiya, or reading the previous about the life of the previous scholars, or the life of the Sahaba, but somehow, or listening to a Islamic motivational lecture, but somehow you should motivate yourself, and you should take that seriously. Because when you are studying at home, my dear, why it is important that you should monitor yourself? Because when you are studying at home, managing your own schedule, exploring the knowledge independently, you need to be your own guide and monitor. No one will help you here. So you yourself monitor yourself. If you complete a goal, for example, suppose you have memorized one chapter of the Quran, then positive reinforcement, this reward yourself by something. By this way, you will be able to stick to this course, what you are currently doing. If you monitor, or if you force yourself, stick to the routine or schedule, eventually, inshallah, one day you will be success. Because if you do not monitor yourself, you should bear in mind that the shaitan is always trying to seduce you from your path. And this is a noble path. And I said at the beginning of my talk that the seeking knowledge, the path, this is a path of ibadah. As long as you are in this path, you are in a stage of ibadah. So definitely the shaitan dislikes this. He tries to seduce you from this path by different way. So thereby you should monitor yourself. You should make sure that you are stick to the schedule and classes and other things. Do not help the shaitan. Join the first class, second class, and each classes of the courses. Do not miss any of that. Do not think, or okay, after this Sunday I will miss this class, and later on I will listen to the audio or video or recorded video of the class. That will be enough for me. No, do not help the shaitan. You may not get that time. Maybe other responsibility will come to you, but thereby you will not get that opportunity to listen to it. So do not help the shaitan. So set a plan for your time and level. You know this best. You should have a routine, time management, that you should follow it. You should force yourself to maintain that routine. And this should be a realistic plan, because you know your capabilities, because you have other responsibilities also. You have other duties and goals. So you must set a personal plan that can maintain and stick to for consistency and progress. Because success is about consistency, even if it's in small steps, my dear. Our time is very short, so I don't want to lengthen my speech. I just want to finish some more points, maybe 2 or 3 with short speech. Inshallah, thereby we will conclude this speech. And balance your long-term and short-term goals, my dear. You have long-term and short-term goals. For example, your maybe long-term goals is to memorize the whole Quran, but the short-term goal may be to at least memorize one chapter every day. So these small and daily objectives you set for yourself to keep you focused and on track towards your long-term vision, you should maintain that. For example, today I only want to memorize the first page of Surah Al-Mulk, for example. And this allows you to narrow your focus and channel your emergency toward one specific thing without becoming overwhelmed by the bigger picture. Because if you think that, okay, I need to memorize the whole Quran, it's very difficult. The scenery is big. But if you just visualize, okay, I'll just today memorize one chapter of Surah Al-Mulk, it's very easy. Your brain feel relaxed. So do not neglect that. So this balance allows you to build small success daily while staying focused on your ultimate vision. And this will encourage you, and it will also give you sikha binafs, motivate you, because when you memorize one chapter, you will feel encouragement in your heart. So stick to it, this small short-term plan. And 15th advice that I have already completed, that is, complete what you start. If you start a course, complete it. Do not go to the next unless before completing the first courses. If you start a book, do not go to the next book unless you complete the first one. Thereby, like this way. So my dear, no more today. Inshallah, whatever have been said here, revise it again and again. And inshallah, another day we'll discuss this topic in details. So no more today. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Know Tawheed First, and press the bell icon to get new video notifications.